A mother of three who disappeared last week.
Family and friends have blanketed Chula Vista with these posters.
Maya is, she has a big heart. Fun-loving person. She loves her kids. She loves her family.
On the night of January 7th, 2021, a quiet house in Chula Vista, California, looked like any other family home. Settling into a Thursday evening, dinner dishes were in the sink. A birthday weekend was coming up for one of the children, and upstairs in the master bedroom, 39-year-old Maya May Millete was planning a future she hoped would bring her peace. A future she believed she deserved after years of mounting tension in her marriage. By all appearances, she was just a hard-working mother of three, finishing another long day at her job with the U.S. Navy. But behind those walls, something deeper, something far more dangerous, had been building for months. That night would be the last time anyone ever saw her alive. Her phone would fall silent, her social media quiet, her husband's story a shifting, her family stanting, frantic, and yet the house itself stayed calm, too calm. This is the disappearance of Maya May Millete, a mother, a daughter, a sister, and a woman whose voice vanished just when she was trying to take her life back. Chapter 1. The Strong One. To understand this case, you have to understand Maya. She was the strong one in her family, the independent daughter who moved across the ocean from the Philippines, built a career in the United States, and took care of everyone she loved. She worked as a civilian contract specialist for the Navy, managing complex workloads while raising three kids. Friends described her as energetic and confident. Her siblings described her as protective and generous. Her parents said she carried the weight of the world on her shoulders and somehow always found a way to smile. Her marriage to Larry Millete began like a high school love story. They met young, fell hard, married early, and tried to build a life together. Over time, they moved to California, bought a home in a quiet neighborhood, and were often seen at family gatherings with their kids playing nearby. But what looked stable from a distance was slowly cracking behind closed doors. Chapter 2. Trouble inside the Millete home. By 2020, those closest to Maya sensed something was changing. According to her family and friends, the marriage had shifted, becoming tense, unpredictable, and emotionally draining for her. Arguments were frequent. Maya seemed exhausted. She talked more openly about wanting independence and about the fears she had if she tried to leave. In the months leading up to January 2021, she confided in multiple people that she wanted a divorce. She began asking questions about finances, lawyers, and how to protect her kids emotionally. And then came the moment that her sister would never forget. In late 2020, Maya reportedly said, "If something ever happens to me, it'll be because of Larry." At the time, her family brushed it off as something said in frustration. But looking back, it sounded like a warning. Chapter 3. January 7th, the last day. January 7th began as a normal day. Maya was working from home. The children were preparing for a long weekend. A family birthday celebration was only days away. On the surface, nothing seemed alarming. But that afternoon, Maya contacted a divorce attorney, a clear step toward officially ending her marriage. This was a turning point. Relatives later said the couple argued frequently during this period and that the tension had been escalating. Neighbors reported raised voices inside the home that evening. Around 8:30 p.m., a nearby security camera captured a series of loud bangs coming from the direction of the Millete house. The video itself has never been made public, but the audio has become part of the official timeline. After that night, Maya was never seen or heard from again. Chapter 4. She's just in her room. On January 8th, Maya's siblings noticed something immediately. She wasn't responding. No messages, no calls, nothing, and that wasn't her. By noon, her sister began to panic. Maya never went silent. The family drove to the Millete home, hoping for a simple explanation. When they arrived, Maya didn't come to the door. She didn't call out. She didn't greet them, which was completely unlike her. When they asked Larry where she was, his answer startled them. She's in the bedroom. She locked herself inside. She doesn't want to talk. It didn't make sense. Maya had never locked herself away from family, especially not during an argument, and especially not the day before her daughter's birthday celebration. The next day, January 9th, they returned and demanded to enter the bedroom. When the door was finally opened, the room was empty. Her purse was still there. Her car was still there. Her ID was still there. Her phone had stopped responding to towers. But Maya was gone. Her sister picked up the phone and called the police. That call changed everything. Chapter 5. The search begins. At first, police treated the case like many missing person reports. Maybe she needed space. Maybe she walked off after an argument. Maybe she'd show up in a day or two. But Maya's family knew better. She wouldn't leave her children. She wouldn't abandon her parents. She wouldn't disappear with no belongings. Over the next days and weeks, the community rallied. People searched on foot, by car, with drones, dogs, and volunteers who combed rugged terrain, mountains, canyons, desert areas, and trails for miles around. But through all of these searches, one thing quietly stood out. Larry did not participate. Not once. Chapter 6. A marriage under investigation. As weeks passed, investigators began digging deeper into Maya and Larry's relationship. Friends revealed that Maya had been preparing to file for divorce. Relatives said she seemed afraid of how he would react. Co-workers noticed she seemed increasingly stressed in the months leading up to her disappearance. Then investigators found something unusual. According to court filings, Larry had contacted spellcasters online, sending messages asking for help to make Maya fall back in love with him. As time went on, those messages shifted. He allegedly asked them to stop her from leaving him. To investigators, this wasn't proof, but it was a troubling sign. At the same time, neighbors reported that on the day Maya was last seen, Larry was seen backing their SUV into the garage in a way that blocked the rear of the vehicle from view. Police later seized that SUV along with the family's Jeep. Still, no Maya. Chapter 7. From Missing to Murder. 9 months after Maya vanished, investigators made a major move. On October 19, 2021, police arrested Larry Millete and announced he was being charged with Maya's murder, even though her body had not been found. According to the district attorney, the evidence collected over months led them to believe that Maya was no longer alive and that Larry was responsible. Prosecutors pointed to 3 key factors. Maya was preparing to divorce him. She vanished on the same day she contacted a divorce lawyer. Her phone, credit cards, and car were all left behind. Larry pleaded not guilty and has continued to maintain his innocence. As of now, he remains in custody while awaiting trial, and the legal process has moved slowly, delayed by hearings, mental evaluations, and scheduling. Today, the trial is expected in 2026. Chapter 8. The Children, the Family, and the Hope. While the courts moved at their own pace, Maya's family fought for something else: the children. After Larry's arrest, the children were placed with his parents. Over time, Maya's sister fought for full custody, arguing that the children needed to be surrounded by their mother's memory, love, and family. Eventually, the court granted custody to Maya's relatives. And through it all, her family never stopped searching. Every weekend, every anniversary, every lead, no matter how small. They still gather with photos of Maya, candles, and signs that read, "We will bring you home." Because for them, this isn't a headline, this isn't a story. This is their sister, their daughter, their mother, their friend. To this day, Maya's body has never been found. Her absence is a wound that never closes. Her name is still spoken at vigils. Her face still appears on flyers. Her children still ask questions no child should ever have to ask. The criminal case is not over. A jury has not yet decided guilt or innocence, and the search for Maya continues, with her family holding on to one hope. Not just for justice, but for answers. Because somewhere out there is the truth about what happened on the night of January 7th, 2021. And her family won't stop until they find it. If you want updates on Maya's case and more real stories of disappearances, investigations, and long fights for justice, make sure you subscribe to Cold Case Uncovered. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next case.